Have you ever felt as though the universe has stacked the deck against you? As if no matter how hard you try, misfortune shadows your every step, and the weight of the world presses heavily on your shoulders. Perhaps you're grappling with the sting of a breakup, the turmoil of a divorce, the lingering ache of lost love, a rude comment or deliberate provocation from someone, whether a stranger or a familiar face, a sudden change of plans, an unexpected problem. Maybe the challenges of daily life, stress, setbacks, or the creeping fog of despair have left you questioning whether you'll ever see the light at the end of the tunnel. If any of this resonates with you, know that you're not alone, and there is a path forward to achieve a state of mind where nothing could truly bother you. The Stoics believed that our suffering comes not from external events, but from how we interpret them. The key to peace is learning to control what's within your grasp and letting go of everything else. No one can make you angry. No one can make you upset. You are responsible for your own emotions. The belief that you're in control of your emotions is a powerful belief in Stoicism, and it all starts within the mind. Epictetus expressed it as follows: "It's not things that upset us, but our judgment about things." You can choose to view an event as upsetting, frustrating, unfair, or you can choose to see it as it truly is, an objective situation. And so, no one can make you feel anything. How you feel is determined by the opinion you choose to give the situation. Therefore, today's Stoic rule states, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Consider the metaphor of a lantern in a cave. The darkness may be vast, but even a small flame can illuminate your path forward. By taking small, deliberate steps each day, we can begin to dispel the shadows. Seneca, who faced exile and personal loss, wrote, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage. Acknowledging your struggle is, in itself, a courageous step toward healing." Imagine possessing a fortress within your mind, an unshakable inner citadel that remains steadfast amidst life's fiercest storms. Picture yourself facing adversity, not with defeat or resignation, but with a calm and resolute spirit, turning obstacles into stepping stones and pain into power. This isn't a distant dream or a privilege reserved for the few. It's a strength that lies dormant within each of us, waiting to be awakened. The Stoics understood the human condition deeply. They faced exile, loss, and immense personal trials, yet they discovered profound peace and resilience by mastering their inner world. They teach us that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we have absolute control over how we respond. In the lessons that follow, we'll delve into the secrets to unlock an iron mind, where nothing bothers you, not by suppressing emotions or ignoring problems, but by transforming your mindset and harnessing the power within. We'll explore how to rise above feelings of bad luck, overcome the shadows of past relationships, and navigate the complexities of stress and hardship with grace and fortitude. We'll explore how the Stoics mastered the art of remaining unbothered, how you can develop an unshakable mindset, and the practical steps to ensure nothing disrupts your inner peace. Are you ready to unlock the strength of the iron mind? To step out of the shadows of doubt and into the light of self-mastery? Your journey toward a life where nothing can shake your spirit begins now. Lesson 1. The illusion of control. The first step to letting nothing bother you is understanding what is within your control. Epictetus put it bluntly. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. Most of our frustrations come from trying to control things we never had control over in the first place. The weather, other people's opinions, past mistakes, the economy. These are all outside of our control. Wasting energy on them is like trying to stop the tide with your hands. Instead of expending mental and emotional resources on the uncontrollable, we must turn our focus inward, toward the domain where we have true power, our own thoughts, choices, and reactions. Understanding this concept is liberating. If we internalize the idea that external events are indifferent and beyond our authority, we begin to cultivate a sense of freedom. When the traffic is slow, the rain disrupts plans, or an opportunity falls through. Instead of reacting with frustration, we can remind ourselves, "This is not within my control, but my response is." This shift in mindset does not mean apathy or passivity. Rather, it means engaging with life strategically. By focusing only on our own actions and responses, we empower ourselves to live with greater clarity and purpose. Rather than wasting effort trying to alter circumstances that are not ours to dictate, we can channel our energy into becoming more adaptable, resilient, and centered individuals. To truly embrace this mindset, consider how much time is wasted on complaints and anxiety over things that are beyond our power. Instead of dwelling on what we cannot change, we must redirect that energy towards self-improvement and inner peace. If the world around you is chaotic, be the calm in the storm. If external circumstances try to shake your stability, remind yourself that peace is an internal state, cultivated through deliberate practice and awareness. A person who has mastered this understanding moves through life with a certain lightness. Imagine walking into a room and sensing tension, yet remaining unaffected. Imagine receiving bad news and handling it with clarity rather than distress. This level of emotional mastery is possible, and it begins with the realization that we are only responsible for what is truly ours to command: our mind, our reactions, and our choices. When we stop giving external forces the power to dictate our emotions, we become unshakable. Life will always be unpredictable, and things will not always go our way, but that is irrelevant to our inner peace. The true test is whether we allow these circumstances to dictate our state of mind. The Stoic approach is clear: embrace what you can control, release what you cannot, and cultivate a mind that remains steady in the face of any storm. Make two lists, one with things you can control, your thoughts, actions, and reactions, and one with things you cannot. Every time you find yourself worrying, shift your focus to the first list. If it's out of your hands, let it go. Lesson 2. Mastering the art of patience. Patience is an essential virtue that allows us to navigate life's challenges with composure and clarity. The Stoics believed that developing patience was key to maintaining inner peace, especially in situations that test our tolerance and endurance. By maintaining a rational perspective, we can prevent ourselves from being overwhelmed by our feelings. This doesn't mean ignoring emotions, but rather acknowledging them without letting them dictate our actions. Seneca once wrote, "Time discovers truth." Instead of reacting impulsively to difficulties, the wise cultivate patience, understanding that everything unfolds at its own pace and in its own time. True mental toughness is forged through repeated exposure to discomfort and controlled challenges. Many times, our emotions create unnecessary distress by magnifying problems beyond their actual impact. The key is to recognize when emotions are taking control and consciously shift to a logical response. One way to build patience is to observe how nature operates. A tree does not grow overnight, nor does a river carve through rock in a single day. The same principle applies to our lives. Whether we are waiting for an opportunity, healing from hardship, or striving toward a goal, patience ensures that we stay steady rather than frustrated. The greatest achievements often require sustained effort, and those who master patience find themselves equipped to handle life's delays and setbacks with grace. Furthermore, practicing patience enables us to make better decisions. When we react too quickly, we are more likely to make mistakes fueled by emotion rather than reason. By cultivating patience, we can assess situations clearly, weigh our options, and respond in a manner that aligns with our long-term well-being. This ability to pause and reflect before reacting is a crucial skill in managing relationships, career challenges, and personal growth. In today's fast-paced world, impatience is common. We expect instant gratification, quick results, and immediate solutions. But true wisdom lies in resisting this urge for speed and instead embracing the steady, deliberate path. Patience allows us to endure hardships without breaking, wait for the right opportunities without desperation, and approach setbacks without discouragement. When we cultivate patience, we also gain a deeper appreciation for the present moment. Impatience often stems from an obsession with the future, wanting things to happen faster. But when we embrace patience, we learn to find peace in the present and trust that things will unfold in due time. Patience fosters resilience, clarity, and a calm state of mind, ensuring that external pressures do not disturb our inner peace. To strengthen patience, practice delayed gratification in daily life. When faced with a frustrating situation, take a deep breath and count to 10 before reacting. Consciously remind yourself that impatience only adds unnecessary stress to the moment, whereas patience allows you to maintain control over your emotions. Try activities that require endurance, such as meditation, long-form reading, or even endurance-based physical exercises like running or yoga. Training your mind and body to embrace sustained effort without rushing builds a resilience that carries over into daily interactions. Practice active listening when engaging with others. Often, impatience stems from a need to interrupt or rush to conclusions. Instead, take time to absorb what the other person is saying before responding. This not only strengthens patience, but also improves communication. Over time, these habits will reinforce patience as a core strength, making you more composed and resistant to impulsive reactions. Cultivating patience leads to a deeper sense of calm, helping you navigate life's inevitable delays and setbacks with grace and clarity. Lesson 3. Expect the unexpected. Life is unpredictable, filled with challenges, setbacks, and unexpected turns. The Stoics practiced a mental exercise called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This practice involves visualizing possible obstacles and hardships before they occur, so when they do not come as a surprise. By expecting difficulties in advance, they were never caught off guard. Seneca wrote, "If you expect everything that can happen as something that will happen, you will not be disturbed." When you anticipate adversity, it loses its power to shake you. You learn to meet misfortune with preparation instead of panic. Life is a series of waves, some gentle, some turbulent. The wise individual does not try to stop the waves, but instead learns to ride them skillfully. This mindset is not about pessimism or expecting the worst, but about readiness. A warrior does not wait for battle to begin before sharpening their sword. Likewise, a Stoic does not wait for trouble to arise before preparing their mind. By imagining setbacks such as financial hardship, criticism, rejection, or failure, you train yourself to remain composed when they arrive. Moreover, this exercise fosters gratitude. When you have mentally walked through the worst possibilities, you start to appreciate the present moment more deeply. You realize that life's current blessings, no matter how small, are worth savoring. One way to practice premeditatio malorum is to set aside time each morning or evening to reflect on potential difficulties. Consider a work challenge, an argument, or an unexpected expense. Visualize how you would handle it calmly and rationally. When the real situation arises, you will find yourself better equipped to respond with clarity and composure. Each morning, take a few minutes to anticipate possible obstacles. If you expect delays, rejections, or setbacks, they lose their power over you when they arrive. Lesson 4. Detach from external opinions. Many of us are bothered by what others think, but Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have permission to be yourself, to be unbothered by others' opinions. Why let the fleeting opinions of others disturb your peace? Most people are too busy worrying about themselves to truly think about you. The weight of their judgments often exists more in our minds than in reality. More often than not, people forget what they said or thought about you within moments, while you may dwell on it for days or even years. Real freedom comes from detaching your self-worth from external approval. If you live for the opinions of others, you'll always be a prisoner to their expectations. But when you focus on your own values, decisions, and growth, external criticism loses its sting. Instead of worrying about how others perceive you, shift your attention to your own actions. Are you living with integrity? Are you treating others with kindness and respect? These are the questions that truly matter. The more you align with your principles, the less you need validation from anyone else. Imagine how liberating it would be to walk through life unaffected by external judgment. You would feel lighter, freer, and more confident in every action. That power is within you if you choose to claim it. Next time you feel hurt or bothered by someone's opinion, ask yourself, will this matter in a year? If not, it's not worth your peace. Lesson 5. Handling harassment, verbal disputes, and confrontations. Verbal disputes, rude people, provocations, relationship problems, confrontations, bullying, harassment, or even online trolling. These are some of the most common challenges we face in modern life. The Stoics teach us that we cannot control the words or actions of others, but we can control how we respond. By maintaining composure and refusing to be provoked, we reclaim our power. When someone insults or provokes you, recognize that their words reflect their character, not yours. Epictetus reminds us, if someone speaks badly of you, do not defend yourself against their accusations, but rather reply, you obviously don't know me well, otherwise you would have mentioned much worse. This perspective allows us to detach from emotional reactions and remain unmoved by insults or attacks. Additionally, consider the power of silence and non-engagement. Not every argument deserves your participation. Many provocations are designed to elicit an emotional reaction. Refusing to engage is a demonstration of strength. Seneca wisely said, "A quarrel is quickly settled when deserted by one party. There is no battle unless there be two." When dealing with relationship conflicts, remember that emotions often cloud reason. Instead of reacting impulsively, take time to reflect before responding. Marcus Aurelius advised, "You always have the option of having no opinion." This means that instead of immediately reacting to insults or harsh words, you can choose to take a step back, breathe, and respond only when you are in a calm state of mind. Online interactions present unique challenges. Social media amplifies negativity, and trolls thrive on reactions. The best response to online harassment is often indifference. If you must engage, do so with grace and self-restraint. Do not let the negativity of others pull you into their emotional turbulence. Furthermore, in cases of bullying or harassment, assertiveness combined with calmness is key. Setting boundaries and making it clear that you will not tolerate mistreatment while maintaining composure sends a strong message. If necessary, remove yourself from toxic environments and seek support from those who uplift you rather than drain your energy. To navigate verbal disputes with greater ease, practice active listening. Sometimes misunderstandings escalate because people feel unheard. By truly listening, you may diffuse tensions before they turn into conflicts. Avoid interrupting, maintain a neutral facial expression, and respond thoughtfully rather than emotionally. Another effective approach is to use strategic disengagement. If an argument becomes unproductive or overly emotional, politely exit the conversation. Walking away is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of discipline and strength. Stoicism teaches that unnecessary engagement in futile arguments only drains energy that could be directed toward meaningful pursuits. If someone is persistently rude or disrespectful, consider setting clear verbal boundaries. A firm but calm statement such as, "I will not engage in conversations that involve personal attacks," can shut down unnecessary conflicts. Boundaries are essential in maintaining peace in both personal and professional relationships. Finally, focus on cultivating an inner state of peace that external negativity cannot disturb. Meditative practices, deep breathing exercises, and self-reflection can help fortify your mental resilience. By consistently practicing emotional regulation, you can turn even the most hostile confrontations into opportunities for personal growth and self-mastery. Ultimately, handling verbal disputes and confrontations requires a blend of wisdom, patience, and self-control. By adopting the Stoic mindset, you will find that you no longer react instinctively to provocation, but instead respond with calculated calm. This shift not only preserves your inner peace, but also earns you the respect of others and, most importantly, yourself. When dealing with verbal disputes, provocations, or confrontations, practice emotional discipline by staying composed. Instead of reacting impulsively, pause and assess the situation logically. Develop the habit of responding with calmness and clarity, rather than allowing emotions to dictate your actions. Engage in mindfulness exercises, deep breathing, or visualization techniques to reinforce self-control. Additionally, practice recognizing the underlying motivations behind verbal confrontations. Many people lash out due to their own insecurities, frustrations, or unresolved issues. By understanding this, you can detach from taking their words personally and maintain your own peace of mind. A calm response often deflates aggression, making you appear unshakable and in control of the situation. Another strategy is to use deflection and humor when appropriate. If someone is trying to provoke you, a light-hearted remark or a shift in conversation can disarm hostility. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." By maintaining a positive demeanor, you show strength and wisdom. For online confrontations, resist the urge to respond immediately. Instead, give yourself time to reflect and decide if engagement is even necessary. Often, the best reaction is no reaction at all. Protect your energy by choosing where to invest your attention. Remember, not every battle needs to be fought. Lesson 6. The art of letting go. Holding on to anger, resentment, or regret only harms you. These emotions weigh down the mind and prevent true clarity. The Stoics believed that the key to peace lies in releasing attachment to past slights and present frustrations. Marcus Aurelius said, "If someone is able to provoke you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation." In other words, external events or people may attempt to disturb your peace, but it is ultimately your interpretation and reaction that give them power. When you allow yourself to dwell on an insult, a betrayal, or a perceived injustice, you are essentially allowing that moment to control you beyond its immediate occurrence. Instead of replaying past grievances, recognize that each negative experience is an opportunity for growth. Learn from it, let go, and move forward unburdened by resentment. The ability to detach from anger and frustration is not an easy skill to develop, but it is one of the most liberating. When faced with an irritating person or a difficult situation, pause and ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Will my anger change the outcome? More often than not, the answer is no. By practicing mindfulness and self-awareness, you develop the ability to recognize emotional triggers and choose a composed response, instead of an impulsive reaction. Letting go does not mean ignoring injustices or failing to address issues. It means refusing to allow them to dictate your emotional state. Practicing forgiveness, whether towards others or yourself, is a form of personal power. Forgiveness is not about condoning poor behavior, but about freeing yourself from the burden of resentment. Seneca wrote, "A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not." This perspective helps us to accept what has happened, rather than resist it and prolong our suffering. To cultivate this skill, practice reframing negative experiences. Instead of thinking, "I was wronged," try shifting your perspective to, "I was given an opportunity to learn resilience and patience." Engaging in meditation, deep breathing exercises, or journaling can also help process and release lingering emotions. Remember, the goal is not to suppress emotions, but to acknowledge and let them pass without attachment. Additionally, consider how harboring anger and resentment affects your well-being. Studies show that chronic stress and negative emotions contribute to both mental and physical health issues. Letting go is not just about peace of mind, it is also about protecting your health and overall quality of life. By choosing peace over prolonged suffering, you reclaim control of your mind and emotions. The more you practice detachment from negativity, the easier it becomes to navigate life's inevitable hardships with grace and resilience. Every night, reflect on anything that disturbed you. Consciously release it. Remind yourself, it's over, and holding on won't change it. Visualize yourself letting go of the emotional weight, like releasing a balloon into the sky. Accept that the past cannot be altered, only learned from. Write down your thoughts in a journal to help process your emotions and recognize patterns of unnecessary distress. Engage in deep breathing exercises or guided meditation to reaffirm your commitment to inner peace. If a particular incident lingers in your mind, reframe it as a lesson rather than a burden. Consider what wisdom it imparted, how it strengthened your character, and how you can move forward without resentment. Over time, this practice will become second nature, allowing you to embrace a life free from the constraints of past disturbances. Lesson 7. The Strength of Indifference. Stoicism teaches apatheia, a state of being unbothered by external circumstances. This doesn't mean indifference to life, but rather emotional independence from things outside your control. The Stoics understood that peace of mind is not achieved by avoiding challenges, but by developing a mindset that remains undisturbed regardless of external chaos. To practice apatheia, one must train the mind to detach from unnecessary emotional turmoil. This involves recognizing when external events are dictating your inner state and consciously deciding to remain unaffected. Instead of being swept away by every inconvenience, insult, or setback, you can cultivate a steady inner calm by acknowledging that these events hold no real power over you unless you allow them to. The ability to remain unbothered in the face of criticism, uncertainty, or adversity is not a sign of coldness, but of strength. It is the power to maintain focus, make rational decisions, and move forward without being consumed by external disturbances. Seneca stated, "He who is brave is free," emphasizing that true freedom comes from inner stability, not from the control of circumstances. One powerful technique to cultivate apatheia is the practice of voluntary discomfort. When you expose yourself to controlled hardships, whether it be fasting, sleeping on the floor, or spending a day without modern conveniences, you reinforce your resilience. When external discomforts or provocations arise unexpectedly, they no longer hold power over you because you have trained yourself to handle adversity without complaint. Additionally, practicing cognitive distancing can help you avoid being overwhelmed by emotions. When faced with an emotionally charged situation, step outside of yourself for a moment. View your reaction as if you were an outside observer. Ask, if I were advising a friend in this situation, what would I tell them? This shift in perspective helps prevent impulsive reactions and fosters inner stability. Another useful strategy is learning the art of deliberate non-reaction. The moment you feel yourself getting worked up over an external circumstance, pause and remind yourself that your response is a choice. The Stoics believed that mastering the pause between stimulus and response was one of the greatest strengths a person could develop. Practicing apatheia requires self-awareness and deliberate mental discipline. Daily reflection, mindfulness exercises, and journaling can help reinforce this mindset. By gradually training yourself to detach from unnecessary worries, you cultivate resilience and become unshakable in the face of life's uncertainties. Over time, this practice will transform you into a person of calm confidence, unmoved by the chaos of the world around you. When faced with a negative situation, simply think, does this affect my inner peace? If the answer is no, move on. If the answer is yes, pause and ask yourself why. Is it because of an external force, or is it due to your own perception and expectations? Often, we assign meaning to events that do not warrant such weight. By consciously choosing which battles to fight and which to release, we gain control over our emotional responses. Additionally, consider how this situation will impact you in the long run. Will it matter a week from now? A year? Most disturbances are fleeting, yet we allow them to dominate our minds. By shifting focus toward long-term well-being rather than short-term frustrations, we can train ourselves to let go of negativity before it takes root. If needed, practice a simple mental exercise. Visualize the disturbance as a small ripple in a vast ocean. The ripple fades quickly, but the ocean remains calm and steady. You are the ocean, vast, unshaken, and resilient. Let the small disturbances come and go without altering your deeper state of peace. Lesson 8. Finding beauty in the imperfect. Life will never be perfect, and expecting perfection only leads to suffering. The Stoics practiced amor fati, the love of fate. This philosophy teaches us to embrace everything that happens, both the good and the bad, as necessary components of our journey. Instead of resisting life's inevitable hardships, we can learn to see them as opportunities for growth and wisdom. By adopting amor fati, we shift from a mindset of frustration to one of acceptance. If we truly internalize this practice, we begin to welcome obstacles, knowing that they serve a purpose in shaping us into stronger individuals. When faced with a setback, rather than asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we reframe it as, "What can I learn from this?" Marcus Aurelius urged, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it." This means that every difficulty, rather than being a barrier, can become fuel for our personal transformation. When we stop resisting reality and instead embrace it fully, we reduce unnecessary suffering and discover a deeper sense of peace. Even when things don't go our way, we can find beauty in the randomness of life. The imperfect nature of existence makes it more meaningful. Instead of longing for an idealized version of reality, we can learn to appreciate life exactly as it unfolds, knowing that everything, joys and hardships alike, plays a role in our development. To deepen our practice of amor fati, we can train ourselves to greet difficulties with gratitude. Instead of viewing struggles as burdens, we can remind ourselves that hardship is part of the path. If we approach each obstacle as an opportunity to grow in patience, strength, and resilience, then no experience is truly negative, only instructive. Another key aspect of this mindset is accepting impermanence. Everything in life is in a state of constant change. The good times will not last forever, but neither will the bad times. By understanding this, we free ourselves from the desire to cling to comfort or to resist hardship. We begin to move with the natural flow of life rather than against it, finding peace in whatever comes our way. Additionally, practicing amor fati allows us to cultivate humility. When we accept that we are not entitled to a perfect existence free of difficulties, we become more grateful for the good moments we do experience. We learn to appreciate the small joys, warm sunlight on our skin, the sound of laughter, the kindness of a stranger. This shift in perspective deepens our sense of contentment. Instead of resisting what happens, embrace it as necessary. The next time you face an inconvenience, whisper to yourself, amor fati, love fate. Remind yourself that every obstacle, delay, or frustration is not an enemy but a teacher, offering you a lesson in resilience, patience, and acceptance. Go beyond mere acceptance. Actively seek to find meaning in every experience, even the unpleasant ones. Reflect on how each challenge strengthens your ability to adapt and grow. Ask yourself, how can this situation serve me? How does this setback contribute to my development? Visualize yourself flowing like water around obstacles rather than being blocked by them. Just as a river does not stop when it encounters a rock, but simply finds another way forward, so too can you navigate life's difficulties without resistance. Each moment, even the unwanted ones, contribute to your journey and should be met with an open mind and a steady heart. Lesson 9. Practicing gratitude. It's hard to be disturbed when you appreciate what you have. Gratitude rewires your brain to focus on abundance rather than lack. When you regularly practice gratitude, your mind becomes conditioned to seek and acknowledge positivity instead of dwelling on what's missing or imperfect. The more gratitude you cultivate, the more resilient and optimistic you become in the face of adversity. Gratitude is more than just a passive feeling. It is an active, intentional practice. The Stoics understood that happiness does not come from external circumstances, but from within. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we cultivate a deep sense of inner peace and contentment. This perspective allows us to develop emotional stability and prevents us from being swept away by negative emotions. Practicing gratitude doesn't mean ignoring hardships or denying struggles. Instead, it means finding value even in difficult situations. When faced with challenges, shift your perspective to ask, what can I learn from this? How can this hardship make me stronger? Learning to see struggles as opportunities rather than setbacks transforms your mindset and makes difficulties easier to endure. One way to deepen your gratitude practice is by actively acknowledging even the smallest blessings in your life. From a kind word from a stranger to the warmth of the sun on your skin, taking a moment to appreciate the seemingly minor details can shift your entire perspective. Keeping a gratitude journal where you record a few things you are thankful for each day strengthens this habit over time. Additionally, expressing gratitude outwardly strengthens relationships and creates a ripple effect of positivity. A simple act like thanking someone sincerely, writing a note of appreciation, or reflecting on the good in others fosters a sense of connection and well-being. This practice not only enhances your own emotional state, but also spreads positivity to those around you, reinforcing a cycle of goodwill. Gratitude also serves as a grounding tool when dealing with difficult situations. When frustration or disappointment arises, pause and redirect your thoughts to something you are grateful for. This small but powerful act can instantly shift your mindset, preventing you from spiraling into negativity. Instead of focusing on what went wrong, you anchor yourself in the abundance of what is going right. Ultimately, gratitude acts as a shield against negativity, helping you remain undisturbed by minor inconveniences and external stresses. The more you practice it, the more resilient and unshakable you become. Over time, gratitude becomes second nature, enabling you to navigate life with an enduring sense of contentment, regardless of external circumstances. Each night, take a moment to write down 3 things you're grateful for, even if they are the same things as the night before. This simple yet powerful habit gradually shifts your mindset toward peace and contentment. Over time, you will start noticing small joys that previously went unappreciated, such as the warmth of a morning coffee, the kindness of a friend, or the beauty of a sunset. Recognizing and acknowledging these moments enriches your daily life. To deepen this practice, reflect on why each gratitude matters to you. What specific impact does it have on your life? How does it contribute to your well-being? By connecting gratitude to personal meaning, you reinforce its transformative power, making it a core pillar of your emotional resilience. Additionally, sharing gratitude with others enhances its effect. Expressing appreciation through kind words, a thoughtful message, or a small act of generosity strengthens your relationships and spreads positivity. Gratitude is not just an internal practice, it is a gift that, when shared, creates a ripple effect of goodwill in both your life and the lives of those around you. Ultimately, gratitude acts as a shield against negativity, helping you remain undisturbed by minor inconveniences. The more you practice it, the more naturally it becomes ingrained in your mindset, fostering a lasting sense of fulfillment and unshakable peace. Lesson 10. Becoming an unshakable force. At the end of the day, nothing can bother you unless you allow it to. Marcus Aurelius famously stated, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This powerful reminder underscores the fleeting nature of life and the importance of focusing on what truly matters. When you embrace the impermanence of existence, trivial worries begin to fade into the background, and you gain a heightened sense of purpose and clarity. You are not your circumstances, nor are you the emotions that arise from them. Your thoughts, reactions, and decisions shape your experience of the world. By mastering your mind, you take control of your life rather than being at the mercy of external forces. The world will continue to test you with its unpredictability, but true strength lies in maintaining unwavering composure amidst it all. To embody this mindset, practice daily reflection. Ask yourself, what external event unsettled me today? Was my reaction within my control? Could I have responded differently? The more you engage in self-examination, the stronger your ability to remain composed under pressure. When you face an unexpected challenge, take a moment to pause, breathe, and reassess the situation before reacting emotionally. This intentional practice builds resilience over time and turns difficulties into valuable lessons rather than unnecessary suffering. Furthermore, reinforce this perspective by surrounding yourself with influences that encourage mental strength, whether it be through reading philosophy, engaging in mindful conversations, or meditating on Stoic principles. By training yourself to detach from unnecessary disturbances, you develop a grounded, unshakable state of being. Consider adopting rituals that solidify this practice, such as starting your morning with a moment of stillness or setting a mantra that reminds you of your own power over your reactions. Beyond self-reflection and external influences, cultivate inner discipline. Discipline in thought means questioning automatic reactions and ensuring they align with rationality and wisdom. Discipline in action means committing to behaviors that reflect resilience and self-control, even when emotions are high. The more consistently you practice self-mastery, the more naturally calm and composed you become in all aspects of life. You are not here to be ruled by emotions or dictated by circumstances. You are here to command your own mind, and through it, your life. Each moment presents a choice: to let outside forces disrupt your inner peace, or to stand firm in your unwavering resolve. Choose wisely, knowing that every decision to remain calm strengthens your control over your own destiny. From this moment on, whenever something threatens your peace, pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this truly worth my emotional energy? Will it matter in a day, a week, or a year? Most disturbances are fleeting, and when viewed from a broader perspective, they lose their grip over you. Remind yourself that you hold the ultimate authority over your inner state. You are not obligated to react to every irritation, nor are you required to internalize external negativity. The power to remain calm and centered is always within you. Choose to focus on what truly enriches your life. Choose clarity over chaos. Choose peace over unnecessary conflict. Your emotions and reactions are in your hands. Choose wisely, and you will cultivate an unshakable inner strength. Letting nothing bother you is not about avoiding life's challenges, but meeting them with a steady mind. You will still feel emotions, but you won't be ruled by them. You will still face difficulties, but they won't define you. Inner peace is not found in a perfect world. It's found in a perfect mindset. And that mindset is yours to cultivate. So go forth, embrace life, and let nothing bother you. What's one thing that bothered you recently that you now realize wasn't worth your peace? Let it go now. It's time to be unshakable.